Financial Group, watching him sign over his life's work to my brother Michael. 30 years of client relationships, investment portfolios, and financial planning services, all going to the son who'd spent more time on golf courses than analyzing markets. It's just practical, Alexandra, Dad explained, not meeting my eyes. Michael has the right image for our clients. They expect a certain, traditional approach. Traditional meaning male. I'd only spent the last decade modernizing our investment strategies and growing our client base, but apparently that meant less than Michael's ability to discuss golf swings over whiskey. Of course, I replied mildly, checking my phone as another notification came through. Sterling Capital acquisition of Peterson Wealth Management complete. Migration of accounts begins tomorrow. What my family didn't know was that while they'd been grooming Michael as the heir apparent, I'd built Sterling Capital into one of the largest independent wealth management firms in the country. That consulting work they thought I did on the side? Actually me acquiring and modernizing financial firms under their noses. Don't worry, sis, Michael smirked, already sitting in Dad's chair. We'll keep you on to handle the smaller accounts. If he only knew that those smaller accounts I managed were worth more than Mitchell Financial's entire portfolio. Or that Sterling Capital had just acquired their biggest competitor. Thanks, Michael. Very generous. Mom patted my hand consolingly. Honey, you can always focus on your little consulting business. Not everyone is cut out for major wealth management. My phone buzzed again. My actual assistant, Sarah. Client notification emails ready for tomorrow. All major Mitchell Financial accounts will receive partnership announcements at 9 a.m. I should get back to work. I stood up, straightening my intentionally modest suit. Those small accounts won't manage themselves. That's the spirit, Dad beamed, probably relieved I wasn't fighting the decision. Michael will take good care of the firm's legacy. I thought about the letters sitting in my office across town, ready to inform every major Mitchell Financial client that their real advisor, Kimi, was now a managing partner at Sterling Capital. I'm sure he will, I smiled, watching Michael already planning changes to Dad's office. I'm sure he will. The next morning I sat in my real office, the entire top floor of Sterling Capital's downtown headquarters, watching the chaos unfold on multiple screens. At exactly 9 a.m., every major client of Mitchell Financial Group received an email introducing their new wealth management partner, Sterling Capital, led by Alexandra Mitchell. First responses coming in, Sarah reported, monitoring the communications. The Anderson family has already transferred their $50 million portfolio to us. The Wilsons and Petersons are scheduling meetings. I pulled up the security feeds from Mitchell Financial's offices, where Michael was about to discover that the small accounts I managed were actually the firm's largest clients. Dad's carefully cultivated client base was about to learn that their trusted advisor, Yumi, had moved to a bigger platform. My phone started buzzing. Michael, what the hell is going on? The Andersons just pulled their account. Dad, emergency meeting now. What did you do? Mom, honey, please call your father. Something's happening with the clients. I smiled, remembering all the times they dismissed my modern approach to wealth management. The automated alerts kept coming. Thompson family, $75 million. Requests transfer to Sterling Capital. Davidson Corp Pension Fund, $120 million. Initiating transfer. Wilson Holdings, $90 million. Scheduling transition meeting. Sarah appeared with more updates. Mitchell Financial's stock is dropping. Their board is demanding answers about the mass client exodus. Send them our standard press release, I instructed. Sterling Capital welcomes new clients seeking modern wealth management solutions. My office door burst open as Michael stormed in, his face red with rage. He stopped short, taking in the sprawling executive suite with its panoramic city views. What is this place? Sterling Capital, I replied calmly. My company. The one you all thought was a little consulting business. Your company? He sputtered. This is impossible. Sterling Capital is worth $3 billion as of this morning, I finished for him. Though that number's climbing as more Mitchell Financial clients transfer their accounts. Dad appeared behind him, looking older than I'd ever seen him. Alexandra, what have you done? Built something bigger than Mitchell Financial could ever be, I gestured to the screens showing real-time portfolio management across global markets. While you were teaching Michael about golf club memberships, I was creating the future of wealth management. The clients, Michael started, were always mine. I cut him off. Those small accounts you so generously offered to let me keep? They represented 80% of Mitchell Financial's assets under management. And they're all following me to Sterling Capital. I pulled up the client transfer request streaming in. Turns out those traditional clients you thought needed a male advisor actually preferred competence over golf handicaps. You can't do this. Michael slammed his hands on my desk. Those are our family's clients. Actually, I slid a stack of papers across to him. They're my clients. Check their account agreements. Every major portfolio at Mitchell Financial has been personally managed by me for the past 5 years. They're just following their advisor to a better platform. Dad sank into one of my visitor chairs. Why didn't you tell us about Sterling Capital? Would you have listened? I asked quietly. Every time I suggested modernizing Mitchell Financial, you dismissed me. Every innovation I proposed was too risky. So I built my own firm instead. My phone buzzed again. Mom had arrived in the lobby. Send her up, I told Sarah. The merger announcement goes live in 10 minutes, Sarah reminded me. Should I proceed as planned? Merger. Dad's head snapped up. What merger? I turned one of my screens to show them the press release. Sterling Capital acquires Peterson Wealth Management, creates largest independent advisory firm in Northeast. Peterson was our biggest competitor, Michael whispered. I agreed. Now they're part of Sterling Capital. Just like Mitchell Financial will be, once your stock price drops low enough for a reasonable acquisition. You're going to buy us out? Dad's voice cracked. I'm going to save what's left of your legacy, I corrected. Mitchell Financial without its major clients isn't worth much. But as a subsidiary of Sterling Capital, focusing on smaller portfolios while we handle the major accounts? That could work. Mom walked in, freezing as she took in my executive suite. Alexandra, what is all this? This, I gestured around, is what you could have had at Mitchell Financial if you'd bothered to look past your outdated assumptions. Sterling Capital manages over $50 billion in assets. We have offices in 12 countries. That little consulting business you mocked? It was me building this. I pulled up more data on the screens. Every innovation you rejected at Mitchell Financial I implemented here. Digital portfolio management. We're industry leaders. Sustainable investing. Our ESG funds outperform the market by 40%. Client communication apps. We wrote the software that most firms now use. The Hamilton account, Michael said suddenly. They were about to sign with us. Already transferred to Sterling, I confirmed. Along with most of your pending deals. Turns out clients prefer working with the advisor who actually managed their money rather than the one who just inherited a title. Sarah appeared with more updates. Mitchell Financial's board is requesting an emergency meeting. Their stock has dropped 30% since the client transfers began. Your choice is simple, I told my family. Either sell Mitchell Financial to Sterling Capital now, while there's still value in the brand, or watch it collapse as more clients leave. Either way, I get what I want. I just prefer not to destroy Dad's legacy in the process. You planned this all along, Dad accused. No, I corrected him. I planned to modernize Mitchell Financial from within. You forced me to build something better by refusing to change. The fact that I can now buy your company is just poetic justice. Michael was still struggling to process everything. But you're my little sister. I'm the CEO of a $3 billion company, I reminded him. One that's about to become even bigger once we announce the Peterson merger. Being your little sister has nothing to do with it. Mom had found her voice. All those times we told you to be more like Michael were perfect motivation to prove you wrong, I finished. Though I have to thank you. If you hadn't been so dismissive, I might have stayed at Mitchell Financial, trying to modernize from within. Instead, I built an empire. The screens behind me showed Mitchell Financial's stock continuing to fall as more clients initiated transfers. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your competition. It's building something so much better that they become irrelevant. The merger announcement goes live in 2 minutes, Sarah reminded me. Merger. Mom asked weakly. Yes, I smiled. Sterling Capital is about to become the largest independent wealth management firm in the country. The fact that we're acquiring our biggest competitor on the same day Mitchell Financial loses its major clients is just timing. Dad stood up slowly. What do you want? What I've always wanted, I replied. For our family's business to enter the modern era. The only difference is now it will happen under my company's banner instead of yours. The press release went live, and the screens erupted with notifications as the financial world reacted to Sterling Capital's latest power move. Sometimes success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about building something so right that they have no choice but to acknowledge it. The board meeting starts in 10 minutes, Sarah announced. Should I have them wait? No, I replied, standing up. Family drama doesn't take precedence over business. You all can see yourselves out. Unless, I paused at my private conference room door, you'd like to stay and watch how modern wealth management actually works. As they filed out of my office, thoroughly humbled, Sarah brought in one last update. Your father's partners are calling. They want to discuss selling their shares before the stock drops further. Tell them I'll take their calls tomorrow, I replied, watching my family's retreating figures through the glass walls. Today, they can sit with the knowledge that the daughter they underestimated now controls their financial future. Mom turned back at the elevator. Sunday dinner? Sorry, I smiled. Board meetings for a $3 billion company take priority over pot roast.